Hello and welcome to today's reading. Today we are working with messages from an ancient era. That was a prompt that came to me randomly. It was probably not randomly, but not something I came up with myself. And as it came to me, I was shuffling the Starseed Oracle deck, and what came out was Star Family, Star Ancestors, and Star Brothers all at once. So definitely a message coming through from your star family, maybe from ancient times, from across timelines. But there's this energetic soul family that is wanting to come through for you today. At this moment, the cats that are in my home are being very active, and they are older cats. They're usually not so active. So this may be that the Lyran collective is coming through for you. You may identify with the Lyrans, or you may simply be very attached to cats or the felines. And it is 1:11 on the recording timer. So I'm going to start with the Star Family card here. This is a card that reminds us that we are part of a collective. We have a soul mission, which is individual and unique to us, yes, but we also have layers of these missions that are collective, and a collective of souls will be on this planet with you at this time, across timelines as well, but specifically at this time, who are after the same thing, have the same agenda for being here as you do. Whether or not they have realized this purpose or agenda, or you have, is another story, but there are beings on this planet who, just like you, are here to create a specific change or shift in the energy of consciousness of humanity. Some of you are here to work specifically with animals, I am getting. There are a few of you listening who are here to work with Gaia directly, nature. Maybe you are interested in geology, water, crystals, geography, the mapping of humans on the planet. Or perhaps, like I said, directly with animals, specifically like marine life, wildlife in forests, the small things like insects, things that create soil stability. Another message that I am getting is that someone here may be quite a homebody. You might feel like a hermit, someone who stays home a lot, but you don't mentally stay home a lot. You are mentally traveling the planet, the universe, and you are working with different frequencies and energies. You may think of this as a mental exercise, or perhaps you're a writer and you are imagining these things in your mind. Even if the places that you go to aren't necessarily real but are based in a particular location, like maybe you want to go to Hobbiton, for example, the place where the hobbits live in The Lord of the Rings. This location is an energetic representation of a energy on the planet. And so as you mentally go to Hobbiton, you are working with that level of frequency of this planet. This is coming through as reassurance and validation that for those of you who do that, you may be wondering if it's a waste of time, if it's just something that you use to entertain yourself. No, it isn't. You really are making an impact by traveling into these realms, dimensions, places, planes on the planet, in the universe, but specifically on the planet. Again, that does seem to resonate with someone who is more of a homebody, someone who stays in their own space. You can be a homebody and be a traveler too. Just someone who isn't out about and interacting with lots of people. But in your mind, in your mind's eye, you are going to these places and you are adjusting things. I'm seeing someone picking up rocks and moving them. And this is exactly what you should be doing at this time. It may not be your overall life path, however, it is perfect for right now. With Star Family being the energy that is underlying this message, I am getting that there may be others who do the same as you. And I'm seeing the Cottage Fairy on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel and she talks about her life living very off the grid sort of energy. I had a mental malfunction. I had to re-record that sentence. So a lot of energy came through for that. So definitely, if you don't know who the Cottage Fairy is, I think you might benefit from her work. She has this very serene, peaceful energy, and perhaps it will remind you of how well you can do by returning to your more childlike self. I think she had a video recently that talked about how people accuse her of being childlike and naive, and she says that I don't know exactly what she says, but what I remember from that conversation was that it is her way to be from the heart, and it does not make her unprotected and unsafe, and it just needs a specific type of mentality in order to create that safety. But yes, if you don't know who she is already, definitely go check her out. I think that she will bring you, if nothing else, a sense of camaraderie in that desire to feel more go with the flow, gentle, starry-eyed wonder type of energy. Additionally, I think this is calling for you to look for people who do have that same energy as you. Maybe Cottage Fairy isn't the one for you. Maybe there are other people on the planet who are sharing their lives and who do embody similar understandings, ideas, and energies as you do. There are crows outside that won't stop cawing. It's very distracting, but crows may be significant to you. I know that it is a common animal for those who do energy work. But regardless, they seem to be wanting to be present for your reading today. I don't remember where I was, but as I was saying, there may be others out there who are sharing their understanding of the world that is similar to yours, that will help to solidify your sense of validity in the way you choose to run your life. It is 8:08 on the timer. The next two cards that came out was Star Ancestors and Star Brothers. These two came out together, stacked on top of each other, and when this happens, I take the one at the bottom to mean that this is the underlying energy, the framework for which the top card fits in. So Star Brothers is at the bottom. I'm going to read this directly from the book so that we get a good picture of what this framework is. Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone, that it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open, that the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's up and downs, and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. How can you open yourself up to receiving more support? I definitely think that this is similar to the message before. I think you are needing some sort of validation, a sense of community. You may have been going it alone for a long time. You may have been feeling like you are the only one on this path, that no one else is on this path with you, and that those of us who are very far away and out of reach. You may not notice this because of this feeling that you have, but there are those around you, whether you know them or not, who are on the same journey or a similar one to you. It may be that you need to go to a place that works with the ideas and energies that you work with. So if you are someone who practices witchcraft, you may need to go to a metaphysical supply store and see what events are available. Not because you need to necessarily bond with anyone, though that may be beneficial, but rather that you need to be around people who think similarly to you, or at least are open to your way of thinking. You have been around people for too long who are not like you. You have been the sore thumb, the outsider, the outcast, the alien amongst those in your reality for too long. It is time for you to realize that you are not the only one. Yes, we are separated and gridded amongst the planet, but that doesn't mean we have to stay that way. So the second card, the card that is the energy layered on top of this Star Brothers card, is Star Ancestors, which talks about all of the ancient wisdom, the ancient knowledge, things that we would consider to be occult, hidden information, things like ancient Egypt, ancient Mesopotamia, the myths, the legends, how they all interplay, our ancient origins in the stars. These things that may create a little bit of resistance in the body because of the social conditioning. Especially if you are in the United States, there is a specific flavor of sanitization from these things here. But it may be that you have been on a journey to learn these things and you are feeling unsafe, as we mentioned, to share your understandings, to share your downloads, to share the things that you have learned from others. And I believe that joining with a group of people, again, whether you bond with them or not, but being around people who are open to this information may allow you to open more to the information itself, even though you feel already very open to it and you believe in it. Perhaps it may be that you aren't fully open to it. As the Star Brothers card said, the back of your heart is closed because you don't want to be caught in a sticky situation that you can't get yourself out of, with too many people around you who see you as a heretic, who see you as a crazy person, who see you as someone so on the fringe and out there and wacky that it will cause you to fully close down entirely. So getting around some people who have that similar flavor of openness that you do will help you to come into a place of more resonance, of more understanding, and perhaps that more intuitive knowledge. You may have had downloads come through you. You may have only read about these things, and perhaps you are wanting to experience it for yourself, remember it for yourself, understand it for yourself. You don't want it to come from another source, whether it's an intuitive or a physical source. You want it to come through your own being. And in order to do this, you need to have that openness that you haven't yet. To experience it is very different than to read about it or to hear about it or to see it. To experience it solidifies it in your understanding, in your worldview. And this will change your perception of reality, the very fabric of reality. So, in order to do this, I think you are needing a community of people around you who will facilitate that for you. If you have been thinking about joining a community, finding a community, again, I really think that this is what you are being called to do at this time, so that you can allow yourself to relax the guard that you have had up around you, to shield yourself from the quote regular reality, the regular people, the muggles. It's not that they are bad or wrong or evil or have bad intentions, but it is that they are not in the same place and position of understanding as you are. And because of this, they will look at you and make you question yourself. And you know this, you have experienced it. And so you keep quiet. And so you don't explore it mentally as much. You close off your energy. You temper it so that these people don't feel confused and uncomfortable, because when they are confused and uncomfortable, they make you the problem. And you don't want to be the problem. You want friends. You want to be ignored. You want to feel safe. You want to feel that you are not a spectacle, but a part of a community. But these people are not the same as you, and therefore you must find those who are, or who at least are accepting of you, who do not want to know what you know because it is fascinating and a curiosity, but who want to know what you know because it is intriguing, because it is their mission to understand more as well. So this whole reading seems to me that it is a reminder that you are not alone here, and that you may have been isolating yourself more than necessary. And in order to continue your studies, your practices, your expansion of awareness, you need to find individuals like you, preferably in person, but online is okay too if you can't find people in person, so that you can continue to open yourself up. You may have been feeling like you've plateaued with your understanding, and this is why you haven't felt support from others. And while you are very strong and have been very strong and have been able to get to this place without others in the past, it is time for you to have the support again. Because there are some things that we do that, for example, I'm seeing the image of someone taking a medicine to heal their body, but they must be monitored in order to do this. They have to put themselves in a very vulnerable position in order to open their body up, to allow a medicine to come into their body in order for that body to be healed by the medicine. And all defenses must come down in order for that to come in to the body. And you must have people watching over you to make sure that your levels are balanced, to make sure that you don't go too far from one end to the other, to make sure that you come through the process and journey safely, to secure your physical surroundings. It is 11:11 on the clock now. To secure your physical surroundings so that you can relax into the experience of healing. And this is a similar situation that you are going through now. Perhaps it is a healing that you're after. I am getting, though, that it is more of a remembrance, an understanding, an experience of perhaps past lives, ancient knowledge, all of these things that you are wanting to embrace, encourage in your own being, and to expand more than you already have. You're looking for more, you're looking for the next level. But in order to get there, you have to incorporate others. Again, whether they bond with you or you bond with them and they become part of your everyday, weekly lives, or if they are simply there holding space for you as you journey this time, rather than you holding space for others. It is time for others to hold space for you. So you must find people who are willing to do this and who know what they're doing, so that you don't feel that you have to constantly monitor how well they're doing it for you. I hope that this makes sense. I hope that this resonates. I think a lot of us could do with this community energy, this communal support. I hope that you are able to find this experience. It is very, very harsh to live alone and go it alone, even though it does help in a lot of cases. It can be that we feel we need to go into hermit mode because the people around us are not the same as us. Whereas if we were with those who were the same as us, being in hermit mode would not be necessary. We would not need to close off to the world and to people in order to create this space of downloads and pure channel, because they are doing the same thing. And so it would enhance our experience rather than diminish our experience to be around them and in community with them. So I am seeing that this is a huge push, a huge encouragement, not only for you, the individual listening today, but also for the collective of awakening beings. I hope that this resonated. Please leave a comment if it did. I'd love to hear what you're experiencing, what thing you are trying to bring in that maybe you need support with. Like this video if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see this community grow. We can create that support, at least on an online level, if we have more and more people in this community. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and select all notifications so that you get updated every time I upload a new video. Until next time, bye.